Hello, everybody. Welcome. And is there anybody new here today that's never been here before? If you want to just unmute yourself, let us know you're here. We can say hi.
Kim here.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome. Where are you
Thank you.
Where are you dialing in from?
North Carolina.
Oh, well, welcome.
Oh, okay.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad you're here. Anybody else? Anybody else new here? Never been here before?
I'll officially say hi this week. This is Taya.
Hi, Taya. Welcome.
Hi. My phone died last week when I tried to say hello.
Oh.
So,
What?
we're here.
Where are you from?
Originally Gloucester, but I'm in Mansfield, Texas now.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Glad you're here with us. Anybody else? Anybody else never been here before? Want to introduce yourself? Okay. If everybody could mute, that would be terrific.
Okay, well, hello and welcome to Lulu's Way, Healthy Food, Healthy Life. My name is Nicole and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be your host this evening. To keep this meeting free from distraction, we ask that all in attendance please mute yourselves unless you're speaking. We also ask that you keep the video mode turned off if you're doing anything other than sitting and participating in this meeting so that we can minimize distraction. In this community, we gather to support, encourage, and inspire on the benefits of nutrition, weight loss, wellness, and the joy that comes from choosing to serve yourself well. We are not medically trained, nor do we have formal training in nutrition. We come together here for the sole purpose of providing support, sharing experiences, and promoting a healthy lifestyle. It may be wise to check with your healthcare professional with any dietary suggestions or advice you receive from this group discussion, particularly if you have health challenges. Individuals in this group may have different ideas on how to eat healthy. Just figure out what works best for you and do it your way.
Thanks, Nicole. Now, I know that this meeting is about weight loss for the month of March, for the April 1st weigh-in. I haven't weighed in, obviously, but I talked to my personal trainer. I'm anticipating getting home, and I know with the work that I'm doing with her, I know that I cannot eat less food. I feel like I need more, but I know I'm not going to have less. So I'm wondering, what do I do if I get home and my weight is up? I can't cut my food because I am famished for my food. But I asked her, I said, I want this kind of figured out before I get home instead of after I see the results. Because I said to her, I'm 66 years old. I've been working really, really hard since August. My body has definitely changed. And I asked her if she thought my body would be heavier, if it would be the same size and just weigh more. Am I capable of doing that at 66 years old, like with muscle? I'm not like a bodybuilder, I said, do you think like my body might weigh 2 pounds more, so like if I was up 2, I would say that means I'm the same. Should my range go up? I want it, because let me just tell you, I feel like last year when I was in Florida and I was up 6, I felt the 6. Like I wasn't surprised when I went home and I was up, because I could feel it. I could feel it in my clothes, and you just can feel it. I feel nothing. I feel no weight gain whatsoever. In fact, probably just the opposite. I just feel everything really tightening up. And so she thinks it would be 2 to 5. She thinks that my weight could be, I could have gained 2 to 5 pounds of muscle. I don't know. I think 5 is kind of stretching it. I have to decide, I have to talk to her a little bit more about it, about how much more my body could or should be weighing as a result of this exercise, and if I want to change my range. But I'll get all that sorted. I'll have that all sorted.
Month of March, I lost 6 pounds.
You did?
I know, it was crazy. Yes, so you know, my last few months were low, like 2.8, 3.8, 2.8. But I just do the exact same thing. And, you know, so this last month it was 6. And,
Wow.
you know, it was a month of travel and a month of probably a little more exercise just in general traveling, but nothing's different with my food plan. So just celebrating that it was 6 pounds, and now my total is 87.2.
Wow.
So getting closer.
That's a good one, Nicole. Must have been all that dancing at the LULU'S Way meetup.
Yeah, it probably was. All that moving and grooving.
Very good.
So yeah, so that was the month. And you know, I just will say this. It's just every month, even the low months, it's exciting to be moving this direction, you know. And I actually have a thing coming up next week I'm a little worried about, where I need to go in that tube, that MRI tube, to get a scan. And I'm trying to like process that and not be scared of it, even though, you know, I'm just working through my thinking about it. But I was thinking how, you know, how I'm glad I'm not the weight I used to be, because I think that, you know, those tubes are tight and they can kind of bring on claustrophobia. And I'm like, that's one of the things I'm pretty grateful for, is just that it won't be as tight as it would have been if I had that extra 87.2 pounds on me.
Right.
So I was thinking about that, how just like I'm pretty thankful for that, you know. So
yeah.
yeah, it was a really good month, and
Very good month for you, Nicole. And you know something? Like I always say, like when you have a month or two of like little smaller weight losses, it always ends up, the average is always more than that, you know. So you just got to be patient with those couple of smaller losses, and you were good.
Yeah, and you know, Barb had shared with me this awesome like Excel sheet that just does a graph, and so I finally like updated my graph, and just the line going this way makes me super happy.
Yeah.
And seeing it that way too. So I forgot what it is, but it's, if I average all my 17 months, it's like 5 point something pounds average. So, you know, it varies every month, but it's going the right direction.
Nice.
And it'll take as long as it takes, you know. It's not like I notice sometimes people who are tracking their weight get frustrated, like, oh, it's only 2 pounds, or it's only 1.4. But it's like, you know what, when you really are doing it for your health and you're not planning on stopping, it really doesn't matter, you know, like you're just going to keep on it. So yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited to hear how everyone else has done. And after today, if anyone adds to our data today, I'll document that. So if you post it in the Facebook group, you still can share here, but just let me know so I don't double count you, and I'll get that out tomorrow morning, our whole group's monthly total.
Nice.
So MF, hi.
Hello.
Hi, MF.
Hi. Well, I had an awesome month too. 14.6.
What?
Oh my goodness.
I've been doing some tweaking, like dropping it, and like you've done, Lulu, looking at nuts and things and saying, okay, those aren't serving me. Let's try something different for proteins. And so it's working. So I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
Just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I had two pretty significant non-scale victories this month. One, it's going to sound funny, but I can cut my toenails sitting down. I don't have to stand up and bend over and cut them standing up, because there's less in the way when I sit down and bend over. So that's been very helpful.
Yeah.
I can do it a lot faster because I don't have to do one toe, stand up, get the blood from rushing to my head, and then do the next one. And the other thing is, I noticed last time I went in the car, I had to move my seat forward. because
Oh.
I guess my butt's not as big, so I sit back further in the seat, and the steering wheel's no longer bumping into me, so I had to move my seat forward. So that was pretty cool. So that made me feel really good.
Very good. Good job. And so when you say you were just like you were going through the food plan, just choosing some like lower fat options for like the proteins, like fish and chicken, and instead of nuts and beef. Is that what you're doing?
Well, yeah, just looking, yeah, just thinking if there were things I was doing too much of and that maybe weren't, I was doing too often. Like I had the same breakfast, and there was one breakfast I really liked, and it was just 2 different types of grains and 6 different types of seeds, but the seeds can tend to be too much fat to protein ratio type deal. So
Right.
I thought I'd change that up and have eggs now and then or instead. So
Right.
things like that. And grains I cut from 2 ounces in the morning to 1, because I got a blood sugar monitor and I noticed how that grains tend to spike my blood sugar. So
Yep.
I just cut back on the grains, things like that, that I just want to be a little more fine-tuned
Yeah.
and being a little more tuned to my body and how it reacts to different foods.
Good. How good does it feel to just be so in tune with that?
It feels good, and it's it's nice seeing the number. I need to have that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I need to have something. I kind of get obsessed on numbers and things. So if it's going in a positive way, and there's a positive way I can obsess as opposed to obsessing negatively,
Yeah.
I'm going for it.
Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah, and MF, what you shared with us in Moving and Grooving too is really great, that you're exercising every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that makes a difference, having that as part of my daily routine before I do anything. And well, I feed him first, and then I do my exercise before I do anything else for me.
Yeah.
And you know what she does while she's exercising, Lulu?
What?
She watches your videos.
You do?
That's my motivation. I don't get to watch your video unless I'm riding my bike.
Oh, there you go. Good.
Although I'm running out of videos, so I'm finding other videos to watch.
That's just great, MF. Yay for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Stacy.
Hi. So I lost 2 pounds this month. I was a little bit disappointed. I sort of hurt my knee a little bit on my rebounder. So I wasn't rebounding, and I kind of forgot about that. So then I started lifting weights, and now I'm back on my rebounder. So, but I like what you said, Lulu, about it's just a number, because I'm so dedicated to this that I can't tell you. Well, you know what it feels like to just be so dedicated.
I think we lost Stacy, at least for me. Stacy, there's something wrong with your connection.
Yeah, it was a terrible connection, but I thought it was me. I thought it was only me hearing it like that because I got a sketchy connection myself.
I think it
I heard
might be on Stacy's end,
Yeah.
having a connection issue too.
what I did hear was that she lost 2 pounds, which is wonderful. That she wasn't really thrilled with that, but she could be thrilled with it if she wanted to be, because sometimes it's like the next month you'll see a big one, and that she is committed to this plan. That's what I heard through all the jumble. That's what I heard, that she's very committed to this plan, and that it just feels really good that she feels like it's unwavering. That's what I heard.
I heard that too. She said you couldn't get her to stop the plan.
There you go. Yeah, we did hear you, even though it was pretty sketchy, but we heard you.
Thank you, Stacy. Okay, Cora. Hi.
Hi, Cora.
Was 7.2.
Cora, yep, you lost 7.2.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like,
Good month for you, Cora.
yeah, I just weighed in, the first time last, in March. I kind of started the the meetings a little late, but everybody had weighed in. So I always weighed myself the first of the month. Well, actually, I was weighing every Friday. Then I went to this deal that I was weighing every day, and I was driving myself crazy, So whenever you started the once a month, I said, okay, I'm going to try it. And I did weigh. I confess, I was like freaking out a little bit. Okay, am I doing good? So I did weigh once or twice, maybe. I can't remember if it's once or twice in between this month. But then, like the last week or two, I said, I am not weighing. I'm not doing it because it's like messes with your head, So I ended up when I got on it, I thought, all right, this is great. Yeah, and I'm just learning to plan.
Yeah.
I'm getting it, but yeah, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it down to a science. And I'm not a scientist.
Well, good for you, Cora. Sounds great. And yeah,
Yeah.
I found that the weigh-ins, anything more than once a month, it just owned me. It just owned my thoughts. It owned it was just like,
crazy.
am I good? Am I bad?
Yeah.
It's just, when you just look,
Right.
when you look once a month, you see that nice big number, that big drop. It just feels really good to just see it all at once. Or if you just see 2,
Yes.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine too, because you're not going to have 7 every month.
It's okay.
Yeah. Just as long as you're heading in the right direction.
No. Yeah, I don't. Exactly. And that weighing, that everyday mess was really crazy. But then once a week was crazy too, because you're down 3, you're up 2, you're down 1, you're up 3. Like, what? You're like, so the scale went busted, And, but just sticking with the plan and realizing that it's not about the scale, it's about health and strength in my body. I'm 65 and I want to just keep on moving and grooving.
Yay. Hey, Cora.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm
awesome.
really feeling excited about it. Yeah. I really just like, this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
I've done a lot, like a lot of people have, years, but I feel like this is where I need to be. This is the right place for me.
Oh, good.
And I'm very, very thankful.
Yeah.
Very thankful.
I can feel your sense of hope and determination.
Yeah.
It's so good. What a great place to be.
I had surgery this morning, so I had my alarm set. I said, my alarm, I got to get on my Zoom,
Yeah,
So
good.
I'm home. And, it's a good place. This is a good place.
Yeah, good. Oh, I'm so happy, Cora.
Lots of gratitude and thankfulness. Yeah. All right, that's all.
Yeah, so glad you're here. And that's dedication. Surgery in the morning, Lulu Zoom in the evening.
Yes.
So good for you. Thank you for sharing, Cora.
Thank you.
Next up is Ellen. Hi.
What do you mean?
Hi,
I'll help you.
Ellen.
Hi, everybody. Hi. So I'm going to back up just a little bit. March 1st, I was 5 pounds below my range. I'm in maintenance, and I was 5 pounds below my range. So I went to the men's amount of food, and then I knew I was gaining. I could feel it. So at the middle of the month, on the 15th, I weighed again, which I normally never do. And it said I had gained 4 pounds. Well, then I decided to split the difference between what I was doing and the men's. And so that's what I did. And I came up for the month at a +2. So I'm still below my range, but closer. So I'm getting closer to fine-tuning what's going on.
So you went up for being on the men's plan, and then when you started the splitting the difference, you went down to,
Mm-hmm.
so that you were.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So you probably still needed to do that.
Yeah,
You
I
probably
probably
needed
should
to
have
keep,
just kept
if you just
on
kept on
with
doing
it.
that just for the rest
Freaking
of
out thinking I couldn't afford
yeah, but
to gain another 4 pounds.
yeah, but you can,
Which I could.
because you'd
I
still,
could,
you just
yeah.
needed to get yourself back in range is what you needed to do. And then,
Right.
and then just wean off of the men's plan. Maybe then, you know, now you know that even the men's plan, I mean, the halfway in the middle between the men's and the women's plan. So it's like instead of 4 ounces or 6 ounces of protein, you were having 5.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah, everything was split between.
yeah. So, you know, I'll suggest that since you did go up too for the month, I would suggest that you follow the men's plan for 2 weeks and then weigh in again on the 15th. And it's funny, I thought of you at some point during last month. I was thinking like, you know what, I thought checking halfway. When you're doing something like that, when you're drastically changing something to really achieve something, there's really no reason to wait the month. Doing it the half month probably makes the most sense because you really needed to see that your weight was going up, you know?
Right.
And so I suggest that, I mean, this is my suggestion, but you know, you do
Right.
what you want. You seem to have, you know, you have a grip on it, like you're not going to lose it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I would say try the men's plan again and then weigh in on the 15th. And then just remember what happened when you went, see where you are, see, you know, see if you can afford another couple, maybe stay on that, just to get, so you can really kind of stabilize yourself into that range. And then, you know, then from there you can kind
Right.
of figure out maybe that
Yeah.
halfway between the 2 plans might be the one for you to maintain, you know?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I wrote everything in the margins of the food plan as I have it typed out, so I wouldn't forget, and I referred to it all 15 days, I think. It's like, what was that again? And I referred to it. So,
It's a lot of food.
so I will go back to it is a lot of food, and I was amazed that, because I can eat a lot of food. I can eat a lot of food.
Yeah, me
But
too.
the men's plan tested me. It tested me.
Yeah.
But so I will go back to the men's plan for 15 days and see where I'm at. The other thing I was going to say is our church is going to have a rummage sale on Saturday, so I've been helping every day as donations come in, putting things away, so the helpers get first chance at kind of whatever comes in. And it was just I had a ball, because I would look for all medium shirts, and I was looking in particular for some certain for jeans that would fit, and I didn't find too many of those, but I would say, I'm going to go try this on. I can't wait, you know. And it was just so much fun to try on all these clothes, and they mostly all fit. It's some of the styles I didn't care for, but that's a non-scale victory that you just can't. Yeah, you can't imagine it until you get there. It's like everything worked, you know, basically worked, and just even today I found a beautiful leather jacket, and I put it on and I zipped it up, and it fit like a glove, and I just stood there, and I didn't even have a mirror in front of me, but another lady from the church came through the door, and she stopped and her mouth fell open, and she goes, "That fits you perfectly." She goes, "You take that home." So, anyway, it was so much.
Oh yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
it is fun. It is fun. When clothes, when you can just really count on, like, you're gonna put something on and it's gonna fit, it's gonna feel good, it's gonna look good, and it's a really good place to be. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're
Thank you.
you're figuring it out and you feel good. You feel good while you're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I sure do.
As long as
Yeah,
you
we've
feel
had
good.
some rotten weather, but I've been walking a couple miles a day on a nice trail we've got in. Lately now it's been snowing and crappy out, but
I mean,
I'll
being
be
under
back to that.
being under your range, you don't feel dizzy or lightheaded or weak or anything.
No, I have never gotten to that point.
Good.
Nope.
Good. then
so
it will stabilize. You'll get it. You'll get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm looking forward to that too, because, changing it every single month is,
Right.
the juggling part of it
Yeah.
is, I'll do it, but I prefer to get to a stabilized
Right, but
place.
that was just a very odd thing that happened, that you just went, all of a sudden you went so below. That didn't happen slowly, that happened quick,
Yeah.
So that was an odd thing. Yeah. So usually that doesn't happen to people, because that would be you catch it before it was 5 below,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think I was like 2 below the range the month before.
But then you added food.
But I added food, and it still went.
Yeah, and then you still went down, which that was an odd thing. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But you'll get it. You'll get it. Then you'll get just the perfect food plan for you that will keep you right in your range. Yep. We'll figure it all out. Good.
Yep.
Excellent, Ellen.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good to hear this, because like Barb used to say, it's like landing the plane, when you get into maintenance and figuring out what works for you. I just pulled up the men's food plan just because I really have never looked at it. Went, oh, that's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah, like I said, it tested me, and I can eat a ton of food. So
yeah. I might have to show this to my husband, so he can. He basically eats what I eat, but adds more, and then a few things that aren't on the plan. But
right.
yeah, I'll say, look, honey, you could have 3 veggie burgers.
Right, right.
And put away that flour tortilla.
Yeah. It's all there.
Thank you for sharing it.
You bet.
Okay, next we have Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, everybody. I am in my maintenance range, so I don't want to take up too much time, but I wanted to say to Nicole, I just got an MRI like 2 hours ago, and it's loud in there, so they gave me like these earplugs that you put in your ears, and then an additional headphone plugs the kind like you're wearing, on top. And I don't know how long I was in there. It seemed to be a long time, but I thought, and I got a blanket, and it was nice and cool in there, but having that little bit of the weight of the blanket kind of made me feel calm, And so when I was in there, I just prayed, and I thought, I'm at a spa. And I kind of fell asleep. And before I knew it, it was time to come out. So I think it'll be okay.
Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And Lulu, ask your trainer if she knows of any good body fat scales. Because at my doctor's office, my physician assistant, I don't go to Orange Theory. That's way too pricey, but she goes to Orange Theory. And they all use a scale, and she told me about it. It measures a lot of things. And I bought that scale, and a bunch of people at my work bought that scale, and we love it. So if your trainer doesn't know of a scale, but she probably does, I have one that I use. It's called Renpho, and that was the physician's assistant at my doctor's office. Renpho, Renpho, Smart Scale. And they have different models and stuff. But it measures subcutaneous fat, visceral fat, skeletal muscle, muscle mass, bone mass, protein, BMR, metabolic age, and it really is wonderful. So that might be something to consider.
But I don't.
Probably one is your,
Yeah, but the thing is I don't have like a base to compare it to, because I know. That's the only thing. So I don't. That's not going to help me whether I'm going to want to change my range or not.
Right. But you might want to, your trainer can work with you and let you know that kind of composition is good. Do you know what I'm saying? And so rely less on the number of the scale and start relying on the body comp numbers.
Yeah.
That's something that she could work with you with. Just an idea.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
anyways, have a great week, everybody. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear about everyone's success.
Yes.
Talk to you later.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks, Liz. Next, we have Bridget.
Hi, Bridget.
Hey, everybody.
Did you have a good
I
week
wanted
this
to
week, Bridget?
report a loss of. This week, yes, because I got an accountability person.
Oh, yay.
This month was, besides this week, was really roller coaster with me in the afternoon. But I still managed to lose 2.8, so I'm very happy for that.
Good.
And I keep on telling myself, imagine if you had been good the whole month. I mean,
Yeah.
but 2.8 I'll take.
Yeah.
And another victory at work yesterday. A woman who is subbing, hasn't seen me in a while, came over and says, "Are you losing weight?" And I say, "Yes, I lost 15 pounds." And so people notice that I haven't seen me in a while. So I'm
good.
happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah, you must feel
Thank
that.
you.
You must feel that 15 gone. Must feel good.
Yes, I'm waiting another 5 pounds and I go get a massage.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a good reward.
So-
That's a good reward.
Yes,
Excellent.
I think so.
Very
And
good.
I work out in the morning, 20 minutes, a half hour. I try to do exercises that I see on YouTube. And that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, there's a
I'm
lot
waiting for the
there's a-
weather to be better so I can go outside in nature, which is what I like, or start the garden or something. But we haven't been having terrible weather here, but hopefully I'll get better.
Well, you know, YouTube has a lot of workouts, a lot of
Oh,
different
yes.
workouts. Yep.
Also, the next, not this week, the week after, I'll be in Miami for 6 days. So like, I'm a bit concerned, but I took a hotel room who has an efficiency.
Oh, good.
So I figure I'll be able to DoorDash my food from Publix or something and cook over there.
Good.
So that's what I'm hoping for.
Good plan, Bridget.
So,
Happy.
and that's also, I have a question. I'm Jewish and I won't be able to eat beans, which that's what I eat, beans and oatmeal. And I don't know if I can eat matzah boards on the plan.
It's flour. Yeah.
It's unleavened bread.
Yeah. It's flour.
Yeah.
It,
I know I can eat quinoa and potatoes.
yeah. Do you? So you can't eat. Would you say oatmeal?
Oatmeal and beans.
And
That's all because I eat beans. I don't eat eggs and meat and fish.
So you're not going to eat them for a certain time, or no more
For a week.
for a week. For a week.
No, a week.
For 1 week.
A full week. Yes.
Okay. Yep.
1 full week.
One
Yep.
full week. I gotcha. So yeah, the grains that you can, like the quinoa and potato, sweet potato. Yeah.
Yes, I can have
Rice.
fresh fish, anything that does not ferment and leaven. So I can have quinoa and I can have most vegetable. I cannot have tofu. I cannot have beans.
Is it mainly the greens? You're
I'm
Or the
concerned
protein.
not having protein.
the protein? Okay.
Yes. So I either start eating some fish,
Or nuts.
nuts, but nuts is a trigger for me, really. I eat a mix of walnut and chia seed to have some omega-3 because I'm not getting my omega-3 and I'm concerned about that. But I don't want to eat too much. of nuts.
Yeah.
How
Because
about eggs, Bridget? Are eggs for protein?
I usually don't, but if I have to, I'll do it for that week. Yeah. I was thinking maybe sardines or something. But just for the week, I think. I thought maybe you would have anybody out there vegan that could help me.
Yeah. You know, I find that like getting nuts that are raw and unsalted can be less triggering because they're less like a salty snack. Raw, not roasted, because roasted makes it crunchier and.
I know that's what I buy, roasted, but doesn't matter.
Okay.
I could binge on something I don't like.
Yeah.
So definitely love nuts.
Yeah.
Bridget, how about lentils? Are those?
No, I can't.
You can't do lentils. Okay.
No, I can't.
Okay.
So it's just for one. It's just for 1 week.
It's just for 1 week.
So all the grains are fine except for oatmeal, right?
No, all the grains. I cannot have rice.
No rice?
I cannot have barley, rice, because it ferments, so I cannot have it. The only thing I can have is potato and quinoa.
Oh, okay. So
sweet
have
potato.
So that's going to be
that. I'm not. So I could eat potato every day.
right. Okay, so that's not a problem.
Or that you could add the corn or peas.
No, I cannot have corn.
Oh, okay. Corn, peas, and winter squashes are also a grain. I don't.
Yes.
But you know, if you say the potatoes are not a problem,
what concerned me the most was the protein.
Is the protein, yeah.
But I'll manage.
So yeah, so it's no tofu and no beans.
No beans.
And you're vegan. What did you do? What did you do before? Before this food plan, what would you have?
I had nothing.
No, like if you had to do this, is this 1 week?
I ate a lot of potatoes.
Oh, so you'd eat like mounds of potatoes.
I didn't have 4 ounces of potato.
Right. I see. Okay, so you do this one? Is it once a year? Is this weekly religious thing once a year?
It's a religiously once a year, 1 week.
Okay, so every year you don't eat any protein, maybe nuts, and then you eat potatoes.
Right, for the last 7 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Before that, I was not vegan. Before that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, I've been doing it for 7 years.
Yeah. So do you want to eat fish or eggs? Do you want to stay vegan?
Really? My concern is the previous years I ate a lot of starches and fruits, and I didn't measure anything. I ate huge amount. I also had matzah and plant-based butter. But I'll see if I'm hungry.
That's a lot of carbs.
If I'm hungry, I will buy a can of tuna or something. That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing it to be saving the planet or the animals or anything like that. I'm doing it for a health reason. So, and the more I'm doing it, the more I see that why should I kill an animal to eat? But at the beginning, it was strictly for my health. My fiance had a heart attack, and that was it for me. Yes, so it's not ethical for me that I'm vegan. It's just for my health. I just don't want to go back to eating stuff, I want to stay vegan for my health. So that's it. Well, I'll manage. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll be on the Zoom. Thank you.
Just make sure you're weighing and measuring those carbs, because the carbs are going to get you.
Yes, I bought your scale that folds.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good.
It's in my luggage.
Okay. Good, Bridget.
Yes. Thank you.
I guess, I certainly don't want to encourage you to eat anything that you feel is triggering for you, but you love potatoes and you used to eat mounds of potatoes, right? now you weigh out 4 ounces and have it. You seem to be able to do that. I feel like I could eat 5,000 nuts too. I could eat nuts until they come out of my ears too. But I don't. Like, I don't. And I won't. Just like I could eat, 5 sweet potatoes, the sweet potatoes that I love, but I don't. I have just a piece of one that weighs what it needs to weigh, So, it would just be, if you're really committed to the plan, then you would have the 2 ounces of nuts and you'd stop, It would be really cool if you could do that, but I certainly don't want to encourage you if you really feel like it's a dangerous thing. If it's dangerous, do you not even have them at all?
But the 2 ounces of nuts at 2 ounces in the morning, lunch and dinner.
If I were you and I was vegan, and that was my only option, that's what I would do. And I don't, but I don't think of anything as triggering. For me, it's all triggering. I could just overeat on any of it,
Yeah, but 6 ounces of nuts a day is not going to affect my weight.
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that you should be able to fill that in. That's a protein source. I'm going to say that. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, do you ever have nuts as you follow in this food plan?
Yes, I have. I started in the morning because my concern for omega-3. I always put some chia seeds in my oatmeal to thicken it. I started rounding up the weight with walnuts up to 1 ounce.
So you are able to do it.
And I eat 1 ounce, up to 1 ounce, but it's not. And the rest I take beans.
Okay, but so you are able to have these nuts in the house, and you don't binge on them. You weigh them out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
so what
if in my mind, I figure, this is all you can eat for Passover. Might as well go all the way out.
No, that's not.
Yeah.
You might as well not.
Not
not
you're
if you
on
want.
vacation, you're not home, you're at the beach.
Another thing too to think about is Passover happens every year, so you want to set yourself up for a really great plan for Passover. Right. And I would just pull for the shore too, to not say, oh well, but to really, I would pick the nuts that aren't your favorite, and I would pick them raw so that they're more controllable.
I eat raw nuts. I don't buy roasted nut, but and unsalted. That's what I eat. But to find one I like the least is very difficult.
I know. I love them all too. I love them all too. But
well, you know what? I can have peanut butter. I just thought of that.
That's not that's not triggering for you.
Not as much as nuts.
Not as much as nuts.
And I think too, Bridget, even though nuts are the higher fat thing, that sometimes if we want to see more progress with our weight, we might be, drop them down. It's 1 week. You're going to be going bean crazy the next week. So, me personally, I would err on the side of sticking to the plan, because I'm 100% kind of gal and I don't want to mess with it. And, do what I had to do for a week, and then you'll be back into lower fat proteins that you love.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like you're doing it for a month. That's true. But but if but there's a reason why you're saying that it's triggering for you. But at the same time, you do have them in the morning. You sprinkle in walnuts and chia seeds until it's 1 ounce, and you put them away. So you really can do it. And you could just, you can have a bowl in the morning. You can have a bowl of quinoa, 4 ounces of quinoa, dice up an apple in that, and then drizzle two ounces of peanut butter on top of that. That would be delicious. Or walnuts and chia seeds, all in that. That would be good too. They'd stick all over the apples and stuff. It would be delish.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you very much.
But like I said, I'm very hesitant to say, for you to say to me, oh, they're triggering for me, and for me to say, oh, you should have them. You know what I mean? That's like it's kind of troubling for me, but at the same time, it just feels like your answer and your actions are saying that you can limit them. And if you want to follow it 100%, just like Nicole said, she's 100% kind of gal, then you'll just...
The thing with my nuts, I do that in the morning just before I go to work, and I bring my breakfast to work with me. I'm not at home, so I don't have access to the nuts at work. And once I come home in the afternoon, I had forgotten about the nuts.
Yeah.
When I'm on vacation, I'm afraid the nuts are going to be there, you know?
Yeah. Well, so, but if they're there and they're sitting there, and then they're, so is everything else.
I'll ask my daughter to hide them on me.
But I mean, everything else is going to be there too. You can overeat on anything. If you're making a decision to break the plan, then you're going to break it. Like whether the nuts are there or not.
No. I was thinking, if I could find some other alternative. I won't die if I don't have much protein for a week.
No, you won't die, but you shouldn't shortchange yourself. I wouldn't shortchange.
Right.
So like when you get home and you have lunch, because you have lunch when you get home at 2:30, right?
Yes.
Right? So you make a salad and you put.
I steam vegetable.
Steamed vegetable.
And I usually have 6 ounces of beans.
Yeah. Maybe you get maybe put 2 ounces of almonds, raw, unsalted almonds.
Yeah, at lunch I don't take a protein. I don't think so. Do I take a protein at lunch?
Protein at every meal.
You know, I forgot to.
There's a protein.
I forgot to take a protein today.
Well, yeah, you said you have beans with your.
I had beans. Oh, it's the starch I didn't have in the afternoon.
No,
at lunch,
no
I don't
starch.
have a starch.
No starch in the afternoon, right? No starch
Right.
for lunch, but the beans is your protein. So you have
Right.
protein, veg, and
I had
oil.
6 ounces of chickpeas. Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe instead you could have put 2 ounces of walnuts or almonds on top of the steamed veggies, and then just weigh it at 2 ounces, and that's the end. And like, you know, if you really mean business and you really want to do this, nobody has to hide any of the food, you know, because to me it's like that just doesn't work. Because I'll find it, you know, or I'll eat something else. If you're gonna, but when you don't want to compromise what you're doing and what you're committed to, you're gonna eat those 2 ounces of almonds on top of those veggies, and you're gonna enjoy them because they're delicious. And then it's over. Just like whatever, even if it was the beans and the veggies, you eat it. It's over until the next meal, you know. And then it's only for a week, you know. Unless you want to, you know.
It's true. It's only a week.
Yep. Unless you want to, you know.
It's only a week.
If you want to try the eggs or, you know.
Not really.
No.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Keep us posted, Bridget. Yes.
True it. Plus, I have my accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah. When do
She'll
you
keep me straight.
When do you start this week? That week long thing?
It starts April 12th.
Oh, okay. So you have some time to psych yourself up.
Yes, and I'll make my menu and I'll order the food accordingly.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it. You know, even think about it this week.
No.
And think about it this week, and then we'll talk about it again next week. See if you're really feeling like that whole trigger idea, and if it doesn't seem like a good idea, then
I didn't realize it's only 2 ounces. It's like my concern is having too many during the day, like in the morning and in the afternoon and evening again.
That would be 6 ounces total. But it's just for a week.
Okay.
It's just for a week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep
because you're going to need the
everybody
calories.
else from talking.
Yeah, you know you're going to need the calories. Without that protein, you're going to start you're going to start to not feel good. You might start feeling a little bit, you know, lightheaded or weak or something, and you don't want to feel that. You want to feel comfortable, you know.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. And do we have anyone else who wants to share anything or tell us how your week is going?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Who was that?
I don't know who you are.
Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Jane? Hi.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
So, Nicole, I did reach out to you and I said I gained 4.2 pounds.
Oh, hi, Jane. I didn't know you were that Jane. Yay, I'm so glad you're here.
So I did post it because I saw other people did post. So I said, let me just be real. And I've been doing 15,000 steps a day. I've been following the meal plan, and I feel I'm broken, and that's it.
So you've been exercising every day and following the plan 100%, and you gained 4 pounds?
Yes.
You're following
I don't know what's happening, but it's 6 weeks now that I'm in the plan. It's 6 weeks.
And you're following it 100%. Like you don't eat one thing that's off the plan.
Yes.
I don't know what to say. This is the first.
I don't know. Like,
how much weight do you have to lose? How much weight do you have to lose?
I weigh 209 pounds and I'm 5'2".
Okay. I was just wondering if you were very, very close to goal. I thought maybe the food plan might be too much food for you. So, I don't know. Do you know if you have any thyroid issues? Not that I even know what that means, but I know some people that...
No, I don't. I tested myself. I don't.
Huh.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Well, I kind of feel like, Jane, you know, if you would like to share with me your your meal pictures or what compromises your meals for a little while, I mean, if that would help you, like just so you have someone who can see what you're eating, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're in touch kind of periodically throughout the week.
Good.
So yeah, if you want to do that, like,
because I can't quit. Like I don't want to quit. I just feel like when this month when I did the weigh-in, I said it's not working for me. So I don't know what's the next step I have to do to make it work for me.
I wonder if there's anything going on with your scale. That could be an option.
It could be. My sister said I had that scale for years, and I told my sister that, and she said it's time for a new scale. That's what she told me, to buy a new scale.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right if you are following it. But like, maybe try a new scale, and then also, if you want to just text a picture of your breakfast, lunch, and dinner to Nicole, at least for just a few days, to see if there's anything that jumps out at her that could be the culprit.
Okay.
You know? That's nice of you, Nicole.
So I'm gonna hang in there for the next month and see what happens, because I don't know what happened this month.
Yeah. Was this your first month?
Yeah.
Was this
I've been doing it for 6 weeks now.
Oh, 6
The
weeks.
first 2 weeks when I weighed in, I lost 2 pounds, and then the month I did, I gained 4.2 pounds, but the time I weighed myself, I was on my cycle.
Okay.
When I weighed myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with my weight. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, give it another month. Let's just and maybe get a new scale, if that could work for you.
Okay.
Like if your scale is very, very old, it just seems a little odd.
No, it is. It's very old. I had that scale forever. So
yeah.
I was talking to my sister, and she said, I think you need a new scale maybe, because because I exercise with her, and she's like, no, like, I think you should have lost weight.
Yeah. How do you feel? How does your body feel?
No, I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel good. I don't feel bad.
Wait, does it
It's
feel
just
like
that,
does it feel like you gained 4 pounds, or does it feel like maybe you lost a couple?
and like, I just go by data. So whatever the scale is telling me, that's what I'm gonna believe. And
I meant
I
before you
feel fine. I
weighed
don't
in.
feel
Like before you weighed in, what were you suspecting?
that I was gonna lose weight.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like a lot of weight. I had in my head I was gonna lose 10 pounds. That's what I had in my head.
And then you were up 4. You must have been like, what the beep.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. Yeah, let's. Are you weighing yourself with first thing in the morning, before you eat or drink anything?
Yes.
Before
Yes,
you eat or drink anything?
Yes. Yes.
Naked. The same conditions all the time, because we don't want all different weights of clothes. You know, you got something heavy on one day.
With clothes.
With no clothes. No clothes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, with clothes.
You weighed yourself with clothes?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what I suggest is that, you know, what I do once a month, well, when I'm home, and what I recommend is you weigh very first thing in the morning, before you eat or drink anything, after you pee, and naked. And it's always the same conditions. You could have had on like a heavier pair of pants and a full pee in your bladder, and you weighed yourself. You know, this way, if you do it the same every month, first thing in the morning, after you pee, before you eat or drink anything, naked. Try that next month.
Okay.
Actually, why don't you try that tomorrow morning? Just to see if perhaps you weighed yourself and you had a full bladder and heavy clothes on. See what happens if you do that. Try that. And then I would suggest having your food, have Nicole just see your food every day for a couple of days.
Yeah, and Jane, I was going to say too, you know, when we texted with each other and I said, you know, to take a look at the previous month to do like a post-month analysis, you know, if you keep even to also like a little food journal, you know what I mean? I even did that for a little while, just kept recorded breakfast, exactly what it was and the weights, you know what I mean? So that it's really easy to look at and say, okay, this is what I did and this is my result. I think we'll be able to just know more, you know, but yeah, don't get discouraged because I haven't heard of anybody doing this plan that doesn't lose weight. You know, it might not be 5 pounds every month or whatever. It might ebb and flow and it might be like a plateau, but I think we'll do some digging to find out what's going on and just see. And it could be other things too. It could be medication. It could be health things. So, you know, but it'll just help to get the real information. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Nice. I'm so glad you shared it here.
I'm so glad you did too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I didn't want to give up. I just didn't want to give up.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good for you. Because a lot of people would just give up with that, you know. But I'm going to say you need to give it a check. I would check it in the morning. I know it's kind of like a little weigh-in cheat, but it's like it's still at the very, very, very beginning of the month, and just to get something a little bit more accurate. If you were fully clothed, you know, just remember, after you pee, before you eat or drink anything, and naked. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Jane. Pam.
Hey, Pam.
Hi, I just for Jane really quick, and it is very typical to gain a few pounds when you're having your cycle. Water retention, and she could have just nailed it on the day that it was at the worst between water retention and hormones.
coincidental
Yeah.
that it was the day she weighed in.
Right. And
So
add the outfit on
agree.
top of that. Add the outfit
Yeah,
on
I
top of
agree
that.
with weighing again now and a couple days later is
Yeah.
probably a good thing to do.
Yeah.
But that is a real thing, and I guess most of us really, I'd say, aren't dealing with that, so it really hasn't come up.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Okay.
So it's very common
Yeah.
to gain a few pounds at that time. But it's only temporary weight. It's not actually your body gaining weight. It's just water retention and fluids build up and hormonal stuff, and it all flushes away.
Yeah.
So it's temporary. So that's a good thing. Anyway, yep, I lost 5. I am
Wow.
kind of trying to narrow down my target. I'm getting close.
Wow.
But I still haven't decided on an exact number yet. So I'm just trying to figure it out. I did some research the other day, like comparing different charts. I'm not going anywhere near any of them. Sorry. I know myself and I know my body. And the numbers on charts for a 5-foot female I was very ill at that weight once and can't be there again. They want me down like 110 pounds. Ain't happening. Not for me anyway. I'm getting there. I'd say between 5 and 10 pounds away.
Nice.
Depending on where I want to land.
And what's your total now, Pam?
122.
122. 122 pounds. 122 pounds.
Still have a hard time comprehending it.
Yeah.
I know you get, a lot, you all get it, a lot of you get it more so, but because I've been having to go buy clothes and it's bizarre. I went to one store and my mom was with me and she's like, well, what size? I said, I have no idea. Just take a few different things. And then it became like it was just every time I tried something on, it was a solid size 10, no matter what brand. I've never been like that. Like, wow. It's always depended on which cut was better. Yeah. Which size you could wear. And then it's like solid 10, like no matter what I try. Nice. So that's kind of crazy.
Crazy. I love it.
It's a good crazy, that's for sure.
It's a good crazy.
But just the energy is just amazing how I feel. It's the best part of it, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to just figure out, because my eating is a little off as well. My appetite has been a little off. So I'm trying to find a good balance that's going to work for me long term. And I never choose anything off plan. I don't even want anything off plan. I really don't have any desire. It doesn't bother me. I'm just trying to find amounts that work for me. Because if I eat the full amount now, all of a sudden I'm extremely full and can't eat the dinner, or so I'm trying to find the road that I need to be on to maintain the loss and get all the nutrients I need and
because you're
not feel so overly full at night.
Yeah, because if that's what's happening to you on the reducing plan, you're gonna need a lot more food to stop the weight loss. So I don't know how you're gonna plan on doing that with the loss of appetite.
Well, the one thing I've been doing thus far, since I'm not eating the large volumes 3 times, like I am twice a day, but one meal I can't do all 3 for some reason. I'm choosing more nuts, more of the, like we were talking, and more of the calorie dense foods, but always on plant foods is basically what I'm trying to do, to see if I can find a balance that way.
Yeah. Well, you're doing great, Pam.
Thank you.
I
It's
love
so
it.
exciting. So exciting.
I
I
know,
It
huh?
will be.
Keep watching you come along, Nicole. You're coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and Jane, you'll get there. Don't worry. It's gonna happen. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Pam.
Pam.
Thank you, Pam.